there was bloodletting. You know, I often hear about leeches. And leeches were in use in the 18th century, but they weren't typically as preferred by the military. Leeches are messy, you have to keep them alive. You might argue that they're lazy because you got to feed them enough they don't die, but keep them hungry enough they maintain work ethics. Well, we prefer mechanical means. It's a little bit like raising children with the leeches, but with these, we can just rid your body of the blood. If we thought the heart was always making more blood, never stopped, and too much blood going through your veins and arteries led to friction, the friction caused the fever, well, we knew how to solve that, reduce the blood volume. And while there are many different devices used for that, two of them that were used quite a bit would be your phlegm and your lancet. But if I need to rid you of some of the blood, I won't merely just make the cut. I'll tie a tape tightly about your wrist. I'll have you open and close your fist to swell the veins. I'll soak that forearm in pretty hot water. Grab the fingers, pull them back toward the elbow, forcing those veins up top. And then I'll come down and open the vein. I still have a problem. Rolling veins were an issue in the past just as they are now. A patient anticipating what's coming, jerking away is an issue. You might jerk down and away and we get no cut. Panic and jerk straight back, we'll get far more cut than we want. Thank you for volunteering, man. But I can't completely reduce those problems, but I can't completely eliminate them, but I can reduce them to a large extent with technique. Put my blade over the vein, I tap it in place. I'm getting right in there instead of that slow, steady pressure that's more likely to roll. And I'm also giving you less time to anticipate what's coming. I could let that tape loose, let the blood flow more freely. If I believe more blood should be taken, rather than make a separate incision, I could heat up this cupping glass and put it over the incision we've already made. That's going to suction more blood out. I can collect that in a bleeding bowl if I wish. And sometimes they had dents in these to show how much blood had been taken. But there was a misunderstanding in this age that you had more blood than you actually would have. So, you know, about twice as much blood as what we would actually have is what they believed you had in your body. And if you're a wealthy person with many people tending to you, especially if they weren't communicating with one another very well, you might have quite a bit of blood taken from you. Certainly it was fatal for some, and debate about a number of early leaders dying as a result of that. Washington was being treated for what's referred to as an infected throat. Some believe that bloodletting was what killed him. Others believe the infected throat's what killed him. I won't pretend to know, but I do think that if you're suffering from such an illness and you're needing that oxygen-rich blood, you can make a pretty strong argument that the depletion of that oxygen-rich blood didn't help you anyway. But that's the bloodletting from the time of Fort Loudoun.